Hi, my name is Adam Gwon. I am a composer and a lyricist for musical theater, so I write mostly for piano and voice, though that work is usually orchestrated more fully for more instruments later on in the process after I've written it on piano. I am very inspired by the visual arts, and the work I'm going to talk about today is the work of the painter Mark Rothko. You probably know his work, you've seen it, it's quite well known. There's a print above my piano. These paintings in actual life are quite large, and they are simply blocks of color layered very thoughtfully, one on top of the other. The thing about these paintings, which the print sort of hints at, but which really hits you when you see the actual paintings, is that these canvases seem alive. They seem to move, they shift, they radiate, they are incredibly rich. And the thing is that Rothko is achieving this by a combination of very, very simple, basic elements. And I've taken that principle to heart in my own work. This idea that the richest experience can often be created by very simple elements working in combination with one another. I think about this in a big picture sort of way in my world of musical theater, where I know that the songs that I'm writing need to leave space for this layering. A performance, an actor is going to be layered in, movement, a set, stage picture, all of these elements have to work together. And in fact, it's that combination that is going to let my writing shine through. I also think about this on a smaller, more technical level when I'm writing. This idea that the real electricity lies in the space between two very simple elements. That it's the journey from note to note, from chord to chord, the relationship of harmonies, that is the real heart, the real meat of the communication that's happening between the work and the audience. And for that reason, I think that choosing which of these simple elements are going to be at play to create this cocktail that is greater than the sum of its parts is where the true artistry lies.
Hi, my name is Wong. I play the French horn. I'm also the president of the Chelsea Symphony. Most of the time, my musical genre is orchestral and classical, but I also play in wind quintets and brass quintets, but I would say that it's very firmly rooted in the classical legacy of music. Artwork outside my area of expertise that has influenced me is actually dance crew. Before there was America's Next Best Dance Crew, there was a documentary that came out in 2007 called Planet B-Boy, which I randomly saw, but I was so impressed with the level of precision, but also dedication to their art and passion for collaboration that all of these individuals brought to each of their individual groups, but then also to their art form as a whole, which, as you know, has taken off into many different areas now. What I like especially about it is the movement and the dedication towards expression, but also because it connects to what I do as a musician. Each of the individual performers have to be incredibly precise and dedicated. They have to practice, they have to be in good shape physically, but they also have to have a greater sense of what it is that they're doing and why they're doing it. Because the expression of the crew as a whole is what really makes the performance special and moving. It informs my artistic practice because the dedication that each of these individuals show for themselves is something that I can really relate to as a musician. I need to make sure that I can practice and know my part so that when it comes to contributing to the greater whole, I am secure in that I am contributing all that I can towards that level of expression. So, dance crew.
Hi, my name is Anna Jacobs and I am a composer-lyricist of musical theater. One type of art form that falls outside the realm of what I typically do is a certain kind of poetry called beat poetry. Beat poetry came about in America post-World War II, and it's a specific kind of poetry that's written to be read. It's very rhythmic and musical, and tempo and cadence is a big part of what makes it distinctive, and typically it's very topical.
We're just a little too caught up in the way the world sees us, and the way my people see yours,
and the way my people see yours,
and the way our people see ourselves.
There are many things about beat poetry that inspire me. Perhaps one thing in particular is the way that performers of beat poetry start before they perform their poems. They usually take a moment to collect themselves and turn inward, and it creates this amazing tension that really draws the audience in and signals to them that what they are about to experience is something that's really special and that they should go on the journey with the performer. I love the way that the audience is integrated into a performance of beat poetry. They're encouraged to make noises, to snap their fingers, to make vocalizations whenever they respond to something, and I guess in doing so they become integrated into the work itself, and I just love how that makes the poem this living, breathing thing that's different every time it's read aloud. I also love the way beat poets perform with their bodies. Their words are so much inside of them, and they use so many gestures and facial expressions, and their voices are so expressive. It makes it such a visceral and engaging experience to watch.
You have been taught to grow out. I have been taught to grow in. You learn from our Father how to emit, how to produce, to roll each thought off your tongue with confidence. You used to lose your voice every other week from shouting so much. I learned to absorb.
The way that watching beat poets perform has inspired me as a composer-lyricist is it's reminded me how important framing your work of art is, that it's not just enough to write a great song or to write a great scene, but how do you frame it so that the audience knows that they are about to enter into a few minutes of something that's going to be transcendent and that's going to transport them somewhere special. I also love the way that beat poets really write for the audience and integrate them into their work, and that's something that I am excited about experimenting with more and more as I continue to compose and to write. So yeah, beat poetry, it's awesome. Look it up on YouTube.